I had a couple on my podcast last year who talked about this specifically, of how when he retired, they lost contact with everybody. Nobody checked in. And his wife particularly talked about how hard it was, because having, literally raised their children through the fire service, and that's been part of their lives for 30 years. And then suddenly, as soon as you take your helmet and walk out the door, you don't hear from anybody anymore. And then what do? You feel totally alone. And now you don't have your job. Your whole identity of everything that you were has shifted, and you're just a mess. It's no wonder why people die so early in retirement, really.
Yeah. But what's ironic is, I think, and this is just all conjecture, but in 15 years, we're going to have the opposite problem. We're going to have people that don't have an identity with the fire service anymore, because we don't have it now. We have people that leave all the time. I mean, you're a great example of this, right? You didn't get yourself so wrapped up in this that it became who you are as a person. Well, everybody we're hiring now doesn't seem to be buying off on this tradition, right? We have a lot of individuals. We build stations with individual dorm rooms. If you look at a fire station kitchen table, everybody's looking down at their cell phones. Even when they're in their recliners and there's a football game on or whatever it is that people watch, everyone's got their cell phone out. We're hiring a bunch of individuals, which ironically enough, in 15 years, when people leave, they're not going to have that problem. Their identity won't be the fire service. They'll be able to move on very, very quickly, and the fire service will be merely a chapter that allowed them to produce whatever it is that they're looking to do moving forward. The problem is we're going to deal with that 20 to 30 year gap where they can't figure out why there's no acceptance, why that's not what they thought it was going to be, why the mental health is getting issues. How do we get resources to help them get through the 30 years? But I think after is where they're actually going to find success, is once we can give them a pension paycheck and they can go off and do whatever it is that they really want to do.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I think, it's interesting to watch the trend as people start to say that maybe the 20, 30 year thing is not going to be a thing anymore. I saw a statistic. It was talking about there's been a 400% increase in call volume from 15 years ago overall within the fire and EMS world. But do you think that this is also playing into this challenge of just the overall call volume, type of calls, what people are calling for? That whole strain on the system is also impacting this?
Oh, of course. I mean, we've added fire stations, fire trucks, and fire personnel to offset that. But yeah, call volume is a thing. As cities are becoming more constrained, they're trying to figure out a way to get the most bang out of their buck, and that typically includes more calls per firefighter. And yeah, that obviously takes its toll. I mean, it's a big one. What people called 911 for 30 years ago is very, very, very different than what it is today. It still feels like the firefighter is the hero in the cape that comes to save people every day. The reality is 90% of what it is that the firefighter does in most metropolitan areas is anything but an emergency. So that really does take its toll, I